Hello, everybody, and welcome to Thursday's edition of Big Blue Kickoff Live, presented by Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the Giants. Jonathan Casillas, John Schmeelk, coming to you from our podcast studio, presented by Hackensack Meridian Health. Keep getting better. We turn the page. Giants and Chiefs, Sunday Night Football. Both teams are 0-2, JC, and we know 0-3. Your hopes of making any sort of run become extremely slim. That's just the historical history and stats of the National Football League. So obviously a hugely important game for both these teams. It's also the Giants' home opener. Put me in the player's mind here this week, heading into your home opener, knowing you gotta win 0-2.
Yeah, this is a must-win type of game. You know,
Are the players thinking that though?
I mean, not really.
No, that's why I asked.
Not really. I never used that term as a player. You know, on this side of it, we've used it plenty of times. But I've never used that terminology as a player.
Players treat every game as a must-win, right?
Yeah. And
that's what I think.
Going in, this is a home opener, you know, against the daunted Chiefs, right? The team that represented the AFC in the Super Bowl the last 3 years, winning 2 out of the 3. You know, this is a quality team with a really good quarterback, and offensively, you know, it is what it is. But the Giants, they got to have some type of, we got to win in front of our crowd. You know, we got to do something in front of our home stadium, you know. The Giants have not had a lot of luck here, especially in the past. But the great thing about it, this is a 2025 season. This is the first home game. So, look, they want to open it up with a bang. Why not do it against the Chiefs?
Yeah, and there are a couple things about this game, and I touched on some of these with Lance at the end of the show on Tuesday. I didn't get into super detail with it. But do you want to start with the good or the bad for the Chiefs?
Let's go bad first.
Their offense is not the same.
Yeah.
They have no weapons. Travis Kelce's not what he used to be. Doesn't mean he's not an effective player still, and he doesn't still make some plays, but he's not what he used to be. We'll see if Xavier Worthing can play in this game. If he does, that'll certainly help the Chiefs. But otherwise, you're looking at Juju Smith-Schuster. You're looking at Tyquan Thornton. You're looking at Hollywood Brown. You know, these guys are all like 3s or 4s on a normal team. Not to mention the fact you have a pretty young offensive line. Look, Trey Smith's still really awesome. Creed Humphrey's obviously really awesome. But you lost Joe Thuney in the offseason. You have a second-year guard, Kingsley Suamataia, who's changed positions, and he's still coming along there. You have a rookie left tackle in Josh Simmons. You have Juwan Taylor at right tackle, who he's good for at least one or two penalties a game, lining up incorrectly or committing a hold. So Patrick Mahomes has kind of tried to put this team on his back a little bit. He's even missed some throws down the field he normally doesn't make, but he's ran the ball a lot. He's got almost 120 rushing yards, I think, this year, because he just doesn't have guys that, frankly, can get open much going on around him.
I think uncharacteristic overthrows for him. You know, I've seen that on film, especially last week against the Eagles, where he did have a pocket. He was sitting in the pocket a couple times, clean pockets, and he overthrew the ball. I don't think we'll see that continuously from him. No. I think he'll make that adjustment. But who is he throwing the ball to? Like you said earlier, I think Hollywood Brown has emerged as their leading receiver. Without Rashee Rice, the run game has not been there at all. Even though they try, it just hasn't been there at all. The running game has came from Patrick Mahomes, not just on scrambles. Look, he runs so fast, some of these plays, I'm like, is that a designed run? Where he just snaps the ball, and it is a pass play, but he ran so fast.
The minute he sees man-to-man,
he runs.
And he sees some type of gap in the defensive line,
he goes.
Out. Like, he's not even reading a receiver half the time.
Right. He just goes.
I saw the same thing.
As soon as he clears out. So that's going to be a lot on the defensive line, right? Not adding a spy per se, but everybody has to be, you know, on the same page on how they're rushing Patrick Mahomes, because yes, you can do stunts and all of that, but you need people to cover, meaning if you got somebody going inside, somebody needs to be coming out, and you cannot expose the B gap, because all of the quarterbacks in the NFL, if you get too high up, they will run through that B gap. Mahomes is doing it he's getting good runs and getting good yardage, but it's the timing of those runs. That's why it looks like they're in games, because he uses his legs at very timely spots in the game. 2nd and long, 3rd and long, getting those in. He's lowering the boom.
I was about to ask you about that.
He's lowering the boom.
Now, if you're a defensive player and you're a linebacker, you like that, right? You're like, oh, he tries to lower the boom on me. Now, he's smart, though. He only lowers the boom against defensive backs, first of all. He's not stupid.
He's very intelligent about who he chooses to do, especially like on the sideline. He'll pick and choose. Is he running out? Is he not? It gives some indecisiveness to the defender. In the middle of the field, he's sliding, for sure. for sure he's sliding, but that's the thing that's a difficulty in a defender. When you're running to him full speed, you're thinking like, all right, he's gonna slide. And all of a sudden he stays up. Now you got to be ready to tackle. He's not a little guy.
No, he's 220 pounds.
I think he's bigger than that. He's a big, solid guy. He may not look like a Cam Newton, right? He may not look like a Ben Roethlisberger, right? But he's solid, bro. He's definitely over 220. Ain't no way he's 220, bro. No way he's 220.
I'm curious what he's listed at. I'm looking it up right now.
I'm thinking 235. 235. Because what is 6'3"? What is he, 6'3"?
Let's see. On ESPN, which is usually pretty accurate, they have him listed at 6'2", 225.
I give him 235. I give him 235.
So you think they just kept his rookie weight and just packed some on, and they just haven't updated the scale yet?
He's definitely a little bit more soft here on the sides. But as a quarterback, though, you take hits, so you need to have a little bit of extra cushion on you. And he's been delivering hits the last few games.
All right, I'm going to play a game with you. Don't look.
Okay.
What do you think Patrick Mahomes weighed in at the NFL Combine when he came out of Texas Tech back in that would have been 2017?
At 6'2", I give him...
He listed 6'2" exactly. What do you think his weight was?
205 and 210 between that.
225. So
really?
they just kept
it
the
the
same weight. Someone hasn't stepped on a scale in a few years is my bet.
Right. He's like, hey.
I wish I could do that. Can I do that? Can I just not weigh myself and stay the same weight? Is that how this works? Still 180, baby.
He's definitely bigger than his rookie year.
I got married in
sure.
2014. Still 180. Let's go. I'm still 175. Let's do it.
He's definitely bigger than that, and you can see it by how guys they go backwards trying to tackle that guy.
Yeah, look, and frankly, I don't have much else interesting to say about their offense.
No,
there's nobody.
They try to run the ball.
Yeah, but Pacheco doesn't look the same ever since his leg injury, and I kind of like Brashard Smith, who's their third down back. He's a little explosive. Kareem Hunt looks like he's about 35 years old. He can kind of run for 4 yards and fall down, but there's no one you need to circle with a red Sharpie. There's no one you need to double team.
Besides 15.
Besides 15, right. And what do you think watching Kelsey?
Old, but he's looking for Kelsey. He is looking for him on third down, second down, any pass situation. He's looking for him.
Giants should be used to this. Maybe not this group of players, but Giants fans. Remember old Jason Witten?
Oh, yeah.
Same deal. It's like old Jason Witten.
I watched 2016 Game 1, Dallas and the Giants, when I was on the field. Jason Witten caught like 4 passes on me, and I had great coverage on him. But that's Kelsey. Kelsey runs different routes, though. He does option routes, but Witten sits down a lot on a lot of his routes. Kelsey kind of breaks out or breaks in.
Well, yeah, he kind of ran a whip route.
He runs a lot more vertical routes, too.
He does, yes.
In Kelsey. Witten really doesn't. He never really do vertical routes.
So in 2016, he was 34 years old.
He great at the sticks, though. Great first down guy, but that's Kelsey. And I think they will use Kelsey in that regard because they know, like Kelsey, he doesn't have to get open anymore. He's so big and the quarterback's so smart and they got such a good rhythm. He just got to throw it to the spot where the defender's not. And that's what you see from Mahomes and Kelsey. Kelsey's not shaking guys anymore and running away from guys. He's not doing that. But he's so good and he's so savvy in his technique and he understands the defense is so well that he sits in positions. Yeah. So it's somebody that you have to pay attention to. Yes, he's a little bit older, but when you get older and you still have success, you change your game. And you're watching a Kelsey that's changed his game over the years.
Look, I don't want to simplify this because defense is a lot more complicated than what I'm about to say. And Andy Reid, if you just do one thing against him, is going to figure out a way to beat you.
Absolutely.
These guys are too smart, and so is Patrick Mahomes. But in your must-have-it opportunities, JC, against this team, I'm getting up in their grill.
Yeah.
I'm playing press man. I'm leaving Bobby Okereke in to spy Patrick Mahomes.
I was about to say, you got to have a spy.
That's fine. Man. I don't care. I don't need extra guys in coverage because these guys can't separate.
I agree with that.
I make Okereke my spy, play one single high safety over the top. You can even drop him into the robber if you want. I don't care. Yeah. That's fine. And then just play tight press man across the board and, bring down a safety and put him on. You don't have to put a linebacker on Travis Kelce. Put Drew Phillips on Travis Kelce for all I care. I don't care. Put a corner on him. But, play Flott and Banks and Phillips and Adebo and put Banks on Kelce. I don't care. Put Adebo on Kelce and put Flott and the other guy outside because Adebo's kind of big and physical, right? That's what I do. And I say, look, we're going to make your receivers beat our press man coverage. And again, you spy Mahomes so he doesn't run like you said. He likes to run on those big second and third downs. And that's what I do in my must-have opportunities. I think that's kind of what you have to do.
Yeah, I mean, you could figure out different ways. I wouldn't even mind doubling Kelce on some of these
I'm fine
plays.
with that. Sure.
If you got a spy in there. At the end of the day, you got to take away their main threat. Their main threat is Mahomes' decisions to run. You got to be able to make him think twice about that. You got to make him say, oh, I can't run because whatever, I got sacked the last time, or the spy was on me and got me down the last time. He has to think about it. The last game they played against the Eagles, he didn't think at all. He was just taking off right away. That can break a defense's back because you do so well against the run. You do so well against passes. You're getting PBUs and you're getting stops. All of a sudden, Mahomes, there's nothing open. Everybody did their job on third down, and he runs for a first down.
Well, that's why guys like him and Jaden Daniels and Jalen Hurts can be so frustrating because you could do everything right, and then they just run for a first down.
And it's not just the D-line either, right?
Correct.
It's a collaborative effort. When you have a guy like that, because you talk about circling guys, you're circling one guy on this offense, and you're circling him over and over and over again because he's that phenomenal. Yes, they're not as explosive as they used to be. He doesn't have the weapons, but he's still Patrick Mahomes. Maybe a little inaccurate. He'll figure that out, I think, soon. He's good enough to figure that out.
Well, knowing the Giants' luck, it'll be this week.
Hope not. Fingers crossed. Defensively, though, it takes 11 guys when you have a guy like that. Good coverage on the outside. Everybody's in their responsibilities. The Giants, I think, again, 2 weeks in a row, a little bit slow to line up defensively. Right? And that's going to be causing them to be a little late to certain things. Not good stuff. They got to have more of a sense of urgency before the ball is snapped. So pre-snap stuff that I'm seeing in Schmeelk that I didn't really correct, that hurt them 2 weeks in a row defensively.
All right, let's flip it to the other side. And while the Chiefs' defense is the stronger of the two units, their defense hasn't been great this year either. I'll give some advanced stats just so people can have a basic idea. These are overarching stats. EPA allowed per play, that's expected points allowed, which is kind of a efficiency scoring metric, 27th in the league. Success rate, 31st in the league. So they haven't given them a ton of points, but down to down, the defense has not been great. But the number I want to highlight here, and this is what I kind of talked a little bit about with Lance on Tuesday, so I don't want to repeat myself a ton. They lead the NFL in blitz rate. They've blitzed on 48.5% of dropbacks, which is an astronomical number. But they only have the 20th highest pressure rate at 32%. So that's a bad ratio. If you blitz that much, you want to have a higher pressure rate. With that said, and you've heard me say this, and I know the fans have a million times already too, and I hate to sound repetitive, but it's important. Russell Wilson is a different quarterback when he's clean versus when he's pressured. Yeah. When he was pressured last year on early downs, he was the bottom 3 quarterback in the league. When he was not pressured on early downs last year, he was a top 10 quarterback in the league.
Like what he looked like last week.
Correct. Mm-hmm. What did the Cowboys not do at all last week?
Blitz.
Not at all. Mm-hmm. And when they got pressure, it was late pressure. It wasn't early pressure. So even just the looks that Spagnuolo is going to give and the numbers he's going to put up there, does that, A, give the Giants offensive line issues, and B, does that speed Russell Wilson up a little bit where he's not as comfortable in the pocket and he doesn't make the type of downfield throws or even see the availability of the type of downfield throws that we saw last week against Dallas. To me, JC, that's the whole ball game. Can you get the Chiefs out of some of those looks with screens? Maybe you trap them. Can you do something to mitigate the impact of all those blitzes and pressure? Because in the past, Russell Wilson has not handled those great.
Yeah, and the reason why Spags is always considered one of the greatest defensive coordinators ever of all time, is like you said, he's blitzing more now, like from everybody in the league, but it's when he decides to do those blitzes, right? I played for Spags for 4 years. He has a play called Storm. It's the gotta have it blitz. That's the all-out blitz, Schmeelk, that I know you've seen on film at least 5 times.
It's a great name for a blitz.
It's at least 5 times. You saw it on film last week, and Eagles were kind of win and lose, feast or famine. It's a feast or famine play, right? Yep. It's a play that sends everybody, and there's zero coverage.
It's cover zero. Yep.
If there's 3 eligibles, only 3 guys are in coverage. Like there's no one else helping out, and everybody else is blitzing. So the Giants have to identify that, because if you don't see that coming, there's no way you can block it, Schmeelk. You cannot block it. But if you identify it, there is one-on-ones all over, and the ball has to come out right now.
What do they call the play when they show Storm, but then drop in the coverage?
It's a defense, but you just show Storm.
Okay,
right. It's just whatever shell defense they have.
So when he sends the play, and they'll say show Storm, and then he'll give the regular play call.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the terminology now, and I can't really remember exactly what we're saying, but we built a lot of things off of Storm, like because that was our go-to play. So we would make a lot of our blitzes, a lot of our coverages look like you're running Storm, especially when they got the A-gap mug backers in the mug position. Those I was watching film from 2016. Me, I was covering Witten from the A-gap, bro. I was covering Witten. So
wait. So you were double mugging, and then you would drop out and get
on an out route. But what
you gave up 4 catches early in that game.
That's what I'm saying. That's the difficulty in Spags' defense sometimes. Right. They will get pressure, but there's going to be some advantages in coverage because guys are going to be out of position.
And you would think Russ should be able to identify that.
It's hard, though. I mean, if you could do that, Spags wouldn't have a job. You know what I mean? Right. So Spags does present some things, but there's some things that the Giants offense can exploit. Seeing the arrival of Russell Wilson in the offense last week gives me hope that they can figure this Spagnuolo defense out because he's going to hit him with everything. The Chiefs defense, and let me be honest, watching them on film, I was surprised about those numbers you said.
So was I, to be honest with you.
Because they did a great job against Philadelphia last week against the run.
Philly also doesn't look right to me.
They're a little off.
They didn't look right against Dallas in week 1, and they did not look right against the Chiefs in week 2.
But the way you stop the run, right, is you have everybody to create a line on defense.
Yeah, you build a wall.
And that's what the Chiefs did. Besides the touchdown early in the game, besides the late run by Saquon, but everything else, straight line, right? That's what the Giants got to prevent from happening. They have to prevent different levels. Because when you prevent different levels, even the worst running back in the league is going to be able to find those creases. That's what the Giants have to do against this run game.
All right, last stat I'll give, and Lance kind of got into this on Tuesday a little bit. So in the last 3 years, Russell Wilson, I've not gone back further than that because Russell was in the NFC and the games were too far apart. Last 3 years, since he was with Denver and Pittsburgh, he's played the Chiefs defense 5 times. He's 1-4 in those 5 games. The only game he won, he threw for only 114 yards, but the Chiefs had 5 turnovers in that game. Okay? Here were the other games. I'll work forwards from 2022. In 2022, game 1, he was sacked 6 times, had 247 passing yards.
That's Denver.
Game 2, this is his first year in Denver. Yep. Sacked 4 times, 222 passing yards. Next year, second year in Denver, game 1, sacked 4 times, 95 passing yards.
Wow.
Next game, this is the only one he won, sacked 6 times, only 114 passing yards. And then last year with the Steelers, sacked 5 times, 205 passing yards. So he's been sacked literally on the dot an average of 5 times in his last 5 games against the Chiefs, which is, again, why I brought up the pressure stat.
Yeah.
That's, to me, the key to the whole shebang here is how the Giants handle Spags' blitzes. Because, look, Spags knows what's worked. He sees it. Yeah. I mean, he has a game plan for Russell Wilson that he has used. He's going to go to it. Now, they have Trent McDuffie out there. I imagine he is going to be all over Malik Neighbors in this game. I would think he's going to travel with him.
No offense to Diggs last week. Diggs not. He's off.
Well, I don't think he's back all the way. Correct. He can't run.
He looked bad.
I totally agree.
We're not going to see too many guys that look like that.
And the thing about McDuffie that makes him tough is that he's played full-time in the slot, nickel, and he's played full-time outside.
He's good.
So he can follow Neighbors everywhere. Yeah. And I imagine we're going to see a lot of that in this game.
I think so. It's a challenge, like they don't call Spags, the guy, the Andy Reid Spags. Like they always mention Spags for a reason.
Yeah.
He's been doing this for a very long time. He knows guys. He got books on guys. He got book on Russell Wilson. I didn't know those numbers. I wasn't aware of those numbers. That it doesn't mean, for me, I don't not expect that to happen. Like I think that they're going to get sacked.
I agree.
I think Russell Wilson will get sacked on Sunday.
I think this is, John, going to be a low-scoring, tight game, and somebody's going to win 20-17 or 17-16, and whoever makes that one play at the end or turns it over one time less, that's the team that's probably going to win this game.
Yep, and to be honest, this is where Kansas City thrives.
Dude, they won nothing but close games last year and went 15-2.
That's where they thrive, in the close games, because you have a Andy Reid head coach, Patrick Mahomes, who, however you want to look at him, he plays better as the games get tougher. As the game gets more down the line and it gets more closer in the score and the clock starts dwindling down, he plays better and better and makes better and better decisions. His runs look better. His throws look more precise. He's a guy that rises to the occasion. On the other hand, the Giants, the last well, I guess we used last week, just last week. The Giants didn't play well at the end of the game.
And overtime, yep. Mm-hmm.
At the end of the game in overtime, the defense didn't get off the field to end the game. And then in overtime, the defense had 2 stops, and the offense made some mistakes.
Yep.
And they had a heck of a game, the offense did. But in overtime, they didn't finish. So this is a team that's been known to be a closer in the Chiefs against a team, well, we're going to use one game, the Dallas game. They didn't close the game how they should have closed the game. They have several opportunities to do it. That's going to be the hugest challenge because I agree with you. I don't think it's going to be a lot of points. I don't think it's going to be a lot of yards. Hopefully it's a cleaner game than we've seen throughout the whole NFL. Last week was insane with how many penalties there was. I mean, it was like 20-something called penalties on the Giants, right? And they accepted 14, 15?
14, you got it. And you're right, they were, like, Lance and I added it up on Tuesday. There were, I believe, 20 called penalties.
I've never seen anything like it.
And by the way, they weren't bad calls either.
Right. A couple was picky. The offensive pass interference for Dallas was kind of picky, right?
I didn't say that on my Monday or Tuesday show, but I thought so too. I also thought the roughing the passer, or the second one on Roy Robertson Harris, was a bad one. They sent that into the league, apparently.
That's like 3 out of the I guess it was, Dallas had 10? So it was 30
12,
total?
I think. So
it was like
Dallas
30, almost 35 total calls, and 3 or 4 of them was questionable.
Sloppy football.
Very sloppy football. That has to improve because the Giants, in order to get where they want to go, they have to be a more disciplined team. I think you've been seeing the young,
absolutely,
the youthiness in the Giants, and also, the new pieces that are here, right? Because Holland is not young, Adebo's not young, but they're new, right? It takes a little time to gel. But the disciplinary stuff, the Giants have to do a better job at that. I'm sure they got refs at practice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tell the refs to be as on it in practice as they are in the games. But I watch other games. The NFL refs are like that this year. They're calling everything this year, Schmeelk.
Especially formation stuff, the line of scrimmage, all that stuff. Yep.
But that's something that you can't control as a football player. But what you could do is kind of simulate it.
You need to play.
Overcall it in practice so they get used to being overcalled.
You need to play how the refs are dictating you play based on how they're calling.
That's it.
Final point I'll make, and then we'll get to the calls, because we did not mention who probably is the second best player on the Chiefs yet. And that's Chris Jones, their defensive tackle. As we know, especially in week 1, the Giants' guards and center have had some issues with guys getting into the backfield against them.
Chris Jones is a beast.
Chris Jones is a monster, okay? And it's funny. You just see his size and his speed, and he's a freak show just from a size perspective. When you see him line up, it's okay. Look at 95. He's bigger than everybody else. But look how he moves. It's crazy. I was talking to Jermaine Illuminor yesterday, and I'll play this cut back when we do the pregame show on Sunday. But he said, look, what makes Chris Jones challenging is not necessarily his physical prowess. You can tell that guy watches so much tape on the offensive lineman he's going against. He knows what the offensive lineman wants to do against him, and he has a slew of counter moves set up to combat exactly what the offensive lineman he's going to line up against is good at. He's called him a technician.
Yeah.
You combine that with just how impressive he is physically, that's what makes Chris Jones so good. I imagine, look, don't line him up outside too. So,
all over.
We'll see if Andrew Thomas doesn't play. Would it shock me if you see him over the left tackle once or twice if Marcus Bowe's out there? No, it would not. And otherwise, it's Runyon, it's Schmitz, it's Van Roten, and they're going to have to block him because eventually Spags, with all his blitzes, will set up one-on-one opportunities for Chris Jones, and you're going to have to block him.
I mean, there's going to be a lot of one-on-one opportunities because you talk about 41% blitzing.
Correct.
That creates one-on-ones.
48,
even more. This is the difference between our D-tackle who's all-world and their D-tackle all-world. Our D-tackle in Dexter Lawrence, he's not moving around too much, right? They keep him basically from the 1 to the 3.
He will be between the guards.
Right, the 1 and the 3.
Yes.
That's pretty much it. Nose, 1, 3, like all of that inside, right? Jones moves all over, right? Dexter, the way he plays, he's not getting out of his gap. He's just dominating the guy in front of him or the 2 guys in front of him. That's what he does, and no one does it better than him. He just pushes the guy back, pushes 2 guys back, whatever the case is. He holds it down. He's a force. He's a rock. Jones, on the other hand, he will swim out of his gap. He would smack a lineman by on a run play. He would do things that are unconventional.
He's a penetrator.
That is difficult to go against because you know what you have to do and you think he's going to be somewhere and all of a sudden he's not. And with his athleticism and his size, he creates a challenge for any offensive lineman in the league. any offensive scheme because he's unconventional and he has the moves, the experience, the knowledge to kind of beat anything you throw at him. At the end of the day, guys like that, they only got to win once or twice to wreck a game, which is crazy, but that's the truth.
But he can do it. All right, folks, make sure you go and check out and join us at the Ultimate New York Giants Women's Tailgate presented by Joe Malone. It's on Sunday, September 28th between 10 a.m. and noon in Lot G, right before the Giants take on the Chargers. You have a chance to connect with Madeline Burke, Giants team reporter. Giants legends will be there as well. You'll have a custom curated merchandise shop. Kendra Scott activation, tailgate games, giveaways, photos, DJ, and more. Tailgate food and a drink ticket are included with the ticket purchase. Tailgate is 21 years of age and older. And guys, go check out the Giants Huddle podcast. We have draft season up yesterday. We also have Brian Baldinger and his Baldy breakdown from earlier in the week. We get into corrections on defense and also the Giants' explosive offense performance last week. And then coming up later on today, our very own Jonathan Casillas. I decided to put him in the interview chair. Got to talk to his former teammate Devin McCourty, and they had a great conversation about this game, some of the matchups from a defensive point of view. Do you want to give a preview of some of the stuff you guys talked about?
Well, he gave us a little story about Dayball.
Okay, we like that.
Let's see if that comes out.
I don't think it will, apparently. And my understanding is that Pearson, for like the first 5 minutes before you got on, he got to do a lot of reminiscing with Devin McCourty.
Did you really?
That was my understanding.
No, I just thanked him for some memories.
But that is not the story that I got. There was a lot of conversation.
So me and I met Devin and Jason 20 years ago.
Well, Jersey guys too. So
we played in the Governor's Bowl together. You know that
against each other?
No. He played for Jersey. Because remember, he went to St. Joe's Regional.
Is that what the Governor's Bowl is? That what New
York versus New Jersey?
Oh, I didn't know that.
New York had Ray Rice. Yeah, New York had Ray Rice on that. And Ray Rice is a beast. But it was me, Malcolm Jenkins, Kyle Wilson, the McCourty twins, Kevin Malice. I'm trying to think anybody else you would know.
That's a stacked
Jersey, we had guys.
Squad, bro. That's pretty good.
Guys. I think B.J. Rogers, he might have been on the team.
Did you guys win that game, I hope?
Yeah. Nah, I think we lost. It was like a low-scoring game, a lot of rushing yards, a lot of runs. The quarterbacks couldn't really do anything down the field.
It sounds like Northeastern Jersey, New York football.
Right. So I met Devin and Jason back then, of course, and then of course he went to Rutgers, I went to Wisconsin, and that was when they was in the Big East, so we never played each other. And then we got to the league. Devin goes to the Patriots, Jason goes to the Titans, and I never knew, like, I couldn't tell them apart before that, ever. I was
going to ask you, if they walked in here wearing the same stuff, would you know?
No, I could now. So the hardest part was seeing one of them by themselves. Right? You'd be like, is that Jason? Is that Devin? Like, I don't know which one it is, right? Now I can because I played with Devin in 2014. When we were on the same team, like I'm staring at him like, I need to see the difference between the guys, right? And then the next time I saw Jason, I said, all right, now I can tell the difference between the guys.
Is there something specific you look for, or is it just general?
Jason's eyebrows. It's a little bit more, I'm telling you, this is how I know.
This is great. That's
I look right at the line, right? I mean, they have the same exact everything, but that. It's a little bit different. Their faces are a little bit different, but it's hard because they're dark skinned. They're both got bald heads. It's hard to see it. But Jason has a little bit more of a brow, like a thicker
eyebrow.
Brow.
Okay.
Like, not the brow itself, but the forehead region is a little bit thicker. That's it though. That's all I got for you. But now I can tell them apart. It took 10 years.
Jason, you said. Jason's thicker up there.
Yep. Okay. And it took 10 years.
I'll be honest. I had interviewed both of them, and then they were both here at training camp practice, and I was going to go up and say hi.
You didn't know which one was which.
And I'm like, you know what? I'm just not even going to embarrass myself. I'm going to pass, and I'm just not even going to say hi.
It takes me a minute.
I felt weird. I don't be like, hey, what's up, guys?
What's up, McCourty twins?
I know. And then we was here one week, and again, I'm like, shoot, if I go up, what do I say?
Right.
I don't know which one it is.
Right. Good stuff with the Patriots.
Well, both of them were with the Patriots for a little while, so I could actually do that. Oh, man.
I wonder what that conversation's like. Devin got 3, right? Devin had 2 before Jason even won one, right?
Right.
And then Jason comes to the team and win his first one, and now Devin has 3. I wonder what that Thanksgiving
I'm sure Devin's like, well, you only won one because you joined me. That's the only reason why you got one. I guarantee that's been said a million times at Thanksgiving dinner. What are you kidding me?
Absolutely.
Oh, man. 201-939-4513. So, by the way, that'll be up some point this afternoon. So make sure you go check that out. And it looks like we're going to get good Cam Scadaboo on our player interview podcast tomorrow.
Nice.
On the Giants Huddle. So make sure you guys go check that out. Let's go to Kevin in North Carolina. He will lead us off today. Kevin, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up?
Hey, my keys to victory for the game, and then 2 quick questions. My keys to victory for the game are, like you guys touched on, stop Patrick Mahomes' legs. We got to be able to contain, not let him get outside the pocket. And, even when he's scrambling, he always keeps his eyes down the field. So, the corners are going to have to make sure that they keep their coverage tight there. As well as defensively, being able to get to Patrick Mahomes, pressuring him, winning the time of possession, and then touchdowns. We don't need any more field goals. We got to score touchdowns to beat Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, Kevin, by the way, it's red zone on both sides, by the way, because the Giants' defense has allowed way too many touchdowns in the red zone, and the offense has not allowed touchdowns in the red zone. So it goes both ways there.
Definitely.
All right, what are your 2 comments? What questions?
The 2 quick questions I had is, first question I had for you guys is, you guys touch on Javon Holland. I haven't seen much from Javon Holland. He looks like he's kind of struggling, in his pass coverage. I haven't seen him kind of make any, impact plays. He almost had an interception, in the Cowboys game off a deflection, in the end zone in the first half. So, why has he struggled? Why haven't we seen him, make any big plays, or, why he's been kind of off in coverage, in your guys' opinion?
And what's your second question, Kevin? We'll answer both at the same time.
Yeah. And the second question I had was, I called about this earlier after that Patriots preseason game, with Jalen Hyatt, where I kind of brought up, is he going to be in the doghouse, after having those couple drops, in the preseason game? We haven't seen much of him on the field. We've seen Bo Collins out there. We haven't seen Jalen Hyatt out there. So, is he, again, do you think he's in the doghouse? Like, what do you guys think is going on? Like, why haven't we seen him on the field yet?
All right, appreciate the call, Kevin. Good stuff. Well, first on Hyatt, again, there's no room in the inn, boys.
Yeah.
He's a speed guy. They have Neighbors. They have Slayton. Why would you take one of those guys off the field? So I think that's the issue with Hyatt. He has not proven to be better than one of those 2 guys yet, and that's why he hasn't been able to get on the field. I don't think it's a doghouse situation. I just feel like they have guys ahead of him that they think are more consistent, better players right now.
And also there's a trust factor there.
Sure,
the coaches play guys that they trust. A couple drops in the preseason, that definitely hinders it a little bit. Drops will happen, though. But, they play guys they trust. Not saying he can't be trustworthy, but I think they have to build it up a little bit more.
Correct. And his other question, Javon Holland has not been the playmaker so far in the first 2 games that you have hoped. He's been around the ball a bunch of times. I don't think he's played poorly. But I think, look, he's in a new defense. It might take him some time to start making some of those plays.
I think that's what it really is. And I've spoke about this the last 2 years, given Shane Bowen's only been here for a year and 2 games now. It takes a while for you to understand the nuances of every defense. And I've said this before. Every cover 2 is not the same cover 2. Every cover 3 is not the same. There's different responsibilities, right? On cover 3, it is all go special. Everybody know all go special. That's basically 4 verticals. There's a guy that kind of changes hash marks. That responsibility is different in different defenses. In the same defenses for different teams, right? You can run cover 3 and take it. You can run cover 3 and drop it, right? These are little things that you got to learn, and sometimes you don't learn until the play happens in the game.
Well, even in Tampa, too, people use that middle linebacker differently, depending on how far you have to go back.
How far you have to go. The backside linebacker in cover 2, what does he do? Right? So there's a lot of nuances that go into learning defenses, and there's no question he's a pro. He will learn how to run this defense efficiently. It just takes a little time. You can't run enough plays in preseason to get yourself exposed to all the nuances of the defense. There's something that he's going to see every game that's going to be like, okay, now I learned that now. He's going to have to go through that this year. Hopefully, in the meantime, the Giants don't give up 40 points.
Hopefully by midseason he'll have it.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to Barry in Brooklyn. He's up next. Barry, what's up, man?
Hey, yo, John, what's up, man? What's popping?
What's going on?
We're good, man. What do you got?
I got a question. What's the difference? I know the positions is different, but Marcus Bowe and Evan Neal. It seemed like Marcus Bowe played better in one game than Evan Neal did his whole career with the Giants. I want to know, is it like a confidence level concern there, or because it's crazy how Marcus Bowe could play one game and play the way he played his first game, and then we got Evan Neal that's damn near 300 pounds. And he been giving us what he been giving us. So I'm just trying to see is it a confidence level there or what?
It's a good question, Barry. Appreciate the call. Thank you very much. It's funny. He sounds just like my best friend's dad. who's also from Brooklyn, by the way.
Yeah,
he has that Brooklyn. Oh, Barry.
What's up, John?
You are bringing me home.
Brooklyn in the house.
No, dude, that's what it is. That is exactly what that was.
Brooklyn.
Barry sounds like my best friend's dad sounds. If he gets excited, that's exactly what he sounds like. I don't know if it's a confidence thing. And look, Evan Neal has had individual games where he played as well as Bo did. Like I will give you the numbers just to be fair in terms of some of the metrics from PFF. Like I thought Marcus Bo played really well. You look at PFF's grade him. Grade is a 51. All right,
So
he
they
gave
didn't
up.
grade him that well.
No,
Yeah.
one quarterback hit, one quarterback hurry. 5 times he was beaten by the defender, but the ball got out before pressure got on the quarterback. So again, I thought he played well, but if you look at the pass blocking grade, it's very comparable to some of the pass blocking grades that Evan Neal had.
It's like circumstance right here, what you're talking about.
Correct.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So I think we have to see
It
what
could have
happens.
looked something else, given the numbers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And again, I think Marcus Bo played a good game. It was very encouraging. If Andrew Thomas can't go this week, I would have Marcus Bo as my starting left tackle. I don't know what the Giants are going to do, but that's what I would do for whatever that's worth, which is not a whole lot. But I think you're happy with what he looks like. I think the difference between Bo and Neal are his feet. He's got much better quickness and feet and balance than Neal does.
That's something when Neal did play, and the times I've seen him play, he was on the ground a lot, and it's hard to play in the NFL if that's something that people associate you with, is being on the ground a lot. And I mean, Bo, the first game, he did something very bad. We talked about the oversplit. That was really bad. But again, he's a rookie.
You mean you don't want your offensive lineman to turn around and run into your running back on the goal line? Is that something you don't want to happen?
Hopefully the
Wait, no, but by the way, and all jokes aside, that happened. We talked about it last week.
Yeah, we did.
Did you see that played all over social media and people mocking the play?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
I didn't see it that much. What if Evan Neal made that play?
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see
that
it.
thing.
I seen it maybe during the game because they showed it so many times, but not after.
No, but it wasn't
Not
like
after.
mocked during the week on the internet.
Ah.
If Evan Neal had made that play, JC,
Yeah.
how
I
much
see your point.
would we have seen that with John? Oh my gosh, he's running into his guy. He stinks. What is he doing? What a terrible play. Oh, he's lost. He's still doing this. It's brutal. But Marcus Bo does it.
What?
People make it, we talk about it a little bit, but it's not this, viral clip on Twitter or whatever where people are mocking the poor kid. So I think there's some of that in there too. Sorry for interrupting you.
No, you're good. I was just going to say that's the difference between the guy that's drafted in the top 10 and the guy that's drafted in the fourth. Was it both fourth round or
that
fifth?
too. Fifth round. Absolutely.
round?
No, that's fair too.
Yeah, I think that's it. When it comes to the scrutiny that Evan Neal got, because that's what everybody says. When we've been, fielding calls about Evan Neal for 3 years, and every time they call,
this is your 4.
They say so 4 years. So they say he was a top 10 draft pick. That is the point they always make. He was a top 10 draft pick. He was a top 10, which is understandable. It's very understandable.
No, I get it, but I think we also need to see Marcus Bo for more than a game. I mean, who's the Cowboys' best edge rusher? Exactly right. He wasn't blocking Micah Parsons.
Right.
So just something to keep in mind moving forward. Again, love what I saw. Both of us like what we saw in the preseason from him. And that's why when I look at these offensive linemen, the first thing I always look for, I know that people don't consider it an athletic position. I want an athlete at left tackle. Do you know why? What do you always say? Who are the best athletes on the field in the National Football League?
Defensive ends.
That's why you need. Look, the guy might be 6'5" and 330 pounds, but that dude better be able to move and have really good feet.
Absolutely.
And Marcus Bo, look, right now he's only listed at 300 pounds. He's probably a little bit light in the butt. We saw him get pushed back a couple times in the game, but we knew that coming out. It takes these young offensive tackles sometimes a little time to add some strength, a little time to put on some weight. That's going to happen. You have to be patient. Very rarely, except for, the Tyron Smiths of the world and the Tristan Wirfs of the world and the Penny Sewells of the world, do you get guys that are dominant right away as offensive tackles in the first year?
And Bo has seen some talented pass rushers in his Big Ten days, right? He's seen some.
Oh, yeah.
He hasn't seen everyone.
No, these
are the best pass rushers in the world.
I remember
he has to see every week.
I don't think he ever really lined up much against Abdul Carter. That did not happen a ton. I think he had a few snaps against him, but he lined up against both those Ohio State pass rushers last year, who were good players. But again, those guys are what, 3 and 4 pass rushers in the National Football League?
And we're talking about once or twice a year you might see a guy in college. in the league, you're going to see a guy every week. And then hopefully not too many times, but you're going to see somebody who's the best. Not one of the best in college football. No, one of the best in the world you're going to see at some point. Chris Jones is one of them. And if he lines up on the outside, he might line up outside of Bo or Hudson or whoever. Was that? Did they declare that?
Or we'll see Andrew Thomas. We can see Andrew Thomas.
Andrew Thomas has been practicing, right?
Yeah, he practiced yesterday. He was limited. He did a lot more than he did. I think what he does today will be a good sign to see how it was a padded practice yesterday. He took more reps and team reps into practice than he has all year long. Let's see what it looks like this week. In fact, I'm going to take a look real quick online.
My barber said he was getting a cut today, too. That was good. I just went to my barber.
Does that help?
That's a good sign.
Does that take some weight off the feet?
When you're not playing,
the hair?
When you're not playing, you don't really care about the haircut. I'm just saying.
So you think though he's thinking about the walk-in pregame right now?
I mean, yeah, because the cameras are going to be on him.
See, this is the type of insight that we look for from Jonathan Casillas.
Got it from the barbershop. Shout out my boy Gene.
The X's and O's are great, but the player psychology with the haircut.
That's it, man.
That's good.
I'm trying to figure it out. Because we don't know anything here.
That's good.
They leave us in the blue over here. We don't know nothing.
That's actually very fascinating. 201-939-4513. Wilson, this is like your third call this week, bro. Come on, man.
Talk to me.
I know. Still.
Jonathan, dímelo.
Dímelo, papi.
Yeah. Listen. Pearson gave me a free pass today. Don't get upset.
All right, no, I'm not upset. I'm laughing. Just talk to JC. Get your point across. Make it quick. I want to get other people. Okay.
I had to call to say hi to my buddy. You know that.
I know. So hurry up. Go.
Okay. Listen. So, real quick, before the game, Jonathan, I want to ask something as a former player and as a man. I know Johnny tells me all the time that don't listen to the outside noise and none of that stuff, and the players don't listen to it. But listen to me. As a player and as a man in that locker room, right? When you have to hear, because at the end of the day, it's a media-driven sport. When you got to hear that this is a get-right game for the Kansas City Chiefs, that it's mindless to think that the Giants can win this game. And it's it's a better chance you getting hit by lightning that the Giants winning this game. As a man in that locker room, dog, it has to bother you. It bothers me, and I don't have no skin in the game. So it's got to bother you. Doesn't it bother you, Jonathan? The truth.
No, we've talked about this plenty of times, Wilson. When I played ball, I never listened to anything. I didn't even know what Schmeelk was saying, and I talked to Schmeelk on a weekly basis when I played. But I didn't know. I didn't care, and I don't think these guys do. I think they see maybe some of the memes and some of the stuff like that because everybody's on social media. But they're not hearing like the guys like, the ESPN guys, the Jordan Renans, all of those guys that, really be talking, a lot about the Giants. I don't think they listen to none of that stuff, bro. And if they are, it don't faze them. I don't think so.
Okay. All right. And Johnny, on the game. To say that this game is a must game is like the cliche thing to say. I mean, a 5-year-old can say it.
No, things can be cliche, but they can still be true.
Yeah.
All right, and I told you, and I know I told you that my season was over, and they have no hope.
Why are you calling,
Wilson,
bro?
First of all, wait a second, John. Wilson, did you say our season was over after week 2?
Yeah, he did. Absolutely. And he said he's giving up. That was his quote.
You're giving up, Wilson? What is going on here? I thought we was cool, bro.
I did because I didn't see any hope. But I'm going to give myself one mulligan.
37 points is not hope?
So it has taken precisely 2 days, Wilson, for you to decide that you have hope again.
No, because
yes.
I thought about it. I think once in a while, Johnny, I'm not like crazy all the time. So I thought about this.
Most of the time.
All right, listen.
That laugh.
To me, this is a crossroads game. A franchise crossroads game, and I tell you why. I can see if somehow we win this game, right? I truly believe. You know how pessimistic I am that we can go.
We do
on a run. That we can go on a run. I really do believe that.
I like that. I like that energy now, Wilson.
Right, because I think it could be a starving fan base saving game. I could see a jobs with plural savings game. I can really do. But Johnny and Jonathan,
here's the but.
If this thing goes south, if the wheels come off on national television with 100 cameras all over the place, if this craziness happening on the sideline like the other day in Dallas, and there's a camera on John Mara's face, camera on Brian Dable's face, camera on Malik Neighbors' face, listen, it could go south quickly too next week, man. Next week it could be a crazy week.
Thank you, Wilson. Appreciate the call. I love he's anticipating craziness now, which I love.
But how quick did I get him to not give up on the team? I got him quick. That was like 10 seconds. I was like, come on, bro. He was like, all right, JC, all right, JC.
Clearly he has thought deeply about all these topics and has really conviction on all his strongly held opinions.
Wednesday was a big day for him.
Wednesday was a big day.
He called Tuesday.
He called it Tuesday and said the season's over. No, he didn't call in yesterday. But I think Pierce's point is that he took a day.
Oh, he took a day. I got you.
Day of rest at home. And he sat down. He probably sat down in his old armchair and he's like, maybe it's not over.
We'll see after this week. We'll see after this one.
But if they lose this week, then it's over.
Wilson he's hilarious. I love talking to guys like that.
I found out he called up the postgame show. He used to run a car wash. He washed Tiki's cars. Him and Tiki know each other. They got a slice of pizza together once with Tiki.
Oh, so now they're besties now.
He thinks they're besties, that's for sure.
I love Tiki. Tiki's awesome.
Tiki's awesome. Yeah, dude, Wilson, we love you. We're just having fun with it. You know that.
Yeah. But yes. he made a point a little bit this way. This is a big game. It's a big game.
It's a big game.
Big game for both teams. And when you look at the Giants and look who they have after. Of course, we go week to week, but the Chargers, man, they might be the top of the league right now. How they've been.
You never know
top of the league, right? You want to say top of the league, but how their defense is playing, how their offense is playing.
Right now they're
a tough out.
4th or 5th in Super Bowl odds right now.
Yeah, they're a tough out, and their mentality has changed with that coach for the last couple of years.
Brian Dable said that Andrew Thomas came out well yesterday. He'll do the same number of snaps today, and we'll see how he reacts to back-to-back heavy practices. And if he does, then I think we could be good to go for Sunday.
Well, my question is, because playing linebacker, you could be in a limited play. I could play 15, 20 plays, and I'd be fine.
That's the thing. He wants to be able to be out there for all the snaps.
For all the plays. Correct. Because you're offensive line.
And that's why you have to build up, right? That's why 2 weeks ago, I'm like, he practiced on Friday. And I'm like, yeah, dude, he took a half dozen snaps.
Full practice.
Yeah, come on.
Multiple days in a row.
Bingo. Mm-hmm. That's what you want. So I don't think he's technically going to be full yesterday and today, but he did a lot more, probably closer to full. So I think you're getting into more realistic territory this week.
It's a little bit like when I talk about myself as a linebacker, basically every other position besides the offensive line, it's different because you're either all in or all out with that position.
Yeah, I think, I agree with that.
And
quarterback, obviously.
Quarterback and maybe kicker, stuff like that.
Sure.
But the regular positions.
Yeah, if you only want to play 70% of the snaps, you can do that.
But not at this position.
100%.
So that's the big thing. Is I don't know what he's listed now. Is it doubtful? Probably doubtful. Is it doubtful right now? Because today's the day, right?
No, tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. That's when they have to put the injury report out.
Whatever that means, doubtful means he's either playing or he's not playing at all.
My prediction will be that he will be questionable and be a game-time decision this
That's exactly what I'm thinking,
That will be my prediction.
And it'll be all in or all out.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, you can't play 30% of the snaps. He can't just play nickel. That doesn't happen along the offensive line.
Right, or come in 2-minute drills, or if you're a wide receiver in third downs and stuff like that. You can't do that.
Yep.
Boy, you really got to get these guys back-to-back for me, Pearson. I'm going to save him for the last call of the show. I want to close the show with him. Let's go to Alex in Syracuse first. Alex, what's going on?
Hey, guys, I'll be pretty quick and let whoever that last person...
No, take your time, Alex. Alex, take your time. You can take as much time as you want, bro.
I feel like everybody knows who that is.
Well, actually, you know what? It's a perfect lead into my first point, because I think I know who this last person is. I have 2 legitimate questions for you, but I want to get on my high horse for just 1 second here, because I've spent, on this show a little bit, but just amongst my friends and family, I've spent a lot of time talking about how quarterbacks, and again, I know this is what happens, but they get too much credit when things go well and way too much blame when things aren't going well. When things around them and context have a lot to do with it, and that conversation gets so lost. And I just want to say, I spent a long time defending Daniel Jones. And to see him have the success that he's having, and it's only been 2 games, I'm not crowning the guy, but
very good.
I'm happy for him, but also I want to get on my little high horse and say, all those people that said that he was wrote him off like he was the worst thing that ever happened. Again, I just think that we've proven that at least that part of it is not true. And I would love to get our next caller's response to that, because nobody perhaps was as hard as the guy. I will give Rich Eisen credit. He's the only person that I have heard who has talked so much trash actually come out and say, you know what, I was wrong. and I'm sorry. And you never hear that. Well, they're doing it to Russ. They did it to Russ all offseason. Russ has a great game, and even still, people aren't really saying nice stuff about Russ. They're just saying, well, the Dallas defense is terrible.
Well, Alex, I will remind you of one thing, and you did the proper caveat saying it's only been 2 games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember who the top offense in the National Football League was last year after 2 games?
I don't.
It was the New Orleans Saints.
Oh, wow.
Well, that stuck. That worked out.
Yeah. So to your point, now I will give them credit. The Colts did it against the Broncos last week, who are a real defense.
And it
so
was a tough game, too.
A really tough game. And Daniels played great. I'm thrilled for him. But again, much better situation around him. Let's see if a few more weeks, maybe teams see what Saints Titans do and they'll figure some stuff out. But to your point, Alex,
sure.
Even if they regress and they end up, instead of being the best offense in the league and they're the 14th best offense in the league, and Daniel Jones comes out as like the 15th or 16th best quarterback this year, something like that, right? It's still not what people were saying about him when he was here, to your point, which I think you're absolutely right on about.
And the situation is a lot different. And you got to remember, right, we talk about the resurgence of a lot of guys, Geno, Sam Darnold, right? These guys had to sit down for a while. They had to sit down for a second, not just, year after year after year, injury, recover. They had to sit down. Daniel Jones had to sit down last year.
Half a year.
He was 3rd string, if I'm not mistaken, last year.
He was in street clothes.
Right. So he had to sit down. He had to humble himself and humble his mind a little bit. It's a lot going on when every year you're being criticized, critiqued, and then you're hurt on top of that. It takes a lot on your mental. It takes a lot on your spirit as a human being. I think that time away from ball, sitting down for a while, no pressure for the first time in his life. For the first time, no pressure. And even this year, he got, thrusted to the Colts. They were thinking about the other kid, Richardson, playing over him. And Daniel Jones went and proved that he's a better quarterback. I knew that was going to happen. I've seen Daniel Jones. I think having time on the bench for a little bit helped Daniel Jones. Helped him get his mind right. Helped him get his emotions together. Helped him get his, man, this is how I play quarterback. I kind of forgot a little bit how to play quarterback a little bit. I think that happens to guys sometimes.
Yeah, I think it does too. You got anything else, Alex?
Yeah, quick question for you guys.
Sure.
So I totally agree with you, John, that I think we got to pressure Patrick Mahomes. And sure, if you can do it with 4 guys up front, that's ideal. But if you got to bring 7 guys, you can't give Patrick Mahomes time. He's going to do Patrick Mahomes stuff regardless. So I think on defense, we just got to bring pressure regardless. And then my question for you guys is, on offense, you're just talking about the offensive line and how good these athletes are on defense. And so I get that you kind of have to build an offensive line that has sort of agility and speed, especially on the edge. I wish moving forward that we would build some more power inside. I mean, I think as a Giants fan, that's kind of always been our identity. That's not really the way this offensive line is built. It's more a pass, defending sort of line or whatever. And there's a little more speed. It's a little lighter. So my question is, in the run game, I feel like we keep trying to run right up the gut with these plays where it's like you're relying on bigger guys to make bigger holes. And it seems like we might be more successful sort of getting guys on the move, doing some more gap scheme stuff, and going more to the outside and playing to our strength of speed and trying to tire their defensive line down rather than just trying to move guys all the time. And I haven't seen that yet, and I just wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Alex, good question. I don't think they've done zone runs particularly well this year so far. I'd like to get your take on that. I feel like they've been a little out of sync on those. They love running the duo plays, the double teams. I think they've been better at that. And yeah, I think so. I think that's where the NFL's heading. I think the NFL's heading to gap scheme stuff with lighter linebackers, and so I think that's what you're going to see more of, some of the duo, some of the gap scheme stuff. And yeah, I'd like to see more of that this week too. I'm with you. And by the way, the offensive linemen all told me to a man that they think their best run play last year was duo. That's what they did the best. Yeah. So I'd like to see more of that.
That's a couple double teams, guys, basically.
Yes, correct. But if you want to run some more outside stuff, pull stuff, I'd be fine with that too. I got no problem with that.
The first 2 weeks of the year, I basically seen guys just getting penetration. The defensive line, linebacker, safety, whoever it is, that's getting penetration. So we talked earlier about levels, right? It's good offensively when you have levels, but not when the level starts in the backfield. It needs to be beyond the line of scrimmage, and you've seen a lot of penetration.
Yeah,
so
you have.
A lot of that, the Bo play from week 1, that was, him running into it was a Scatterable, right? The running back. That play we talked about it, that was a technique thing. He was too wide of an alignment right? And then, of course, you can't make your play like that. Things like that, they have to continue to shore up because it's not too many times where you see guys are just getting blown off the ball. A lot of times it's either not the right step, not the right technique, not the right hand placement. As time goes on, I expect these things to improve. Yes, it's early, but you got to remember, the preseason is not the preseason from 15 years ago when I was playing ball, when every single player in the league played that third preseason game. In the fourth preseason, nobody played because they already got their plays. No one played. And then, of course, there's a little bit of playing. But I'm talking about it would be the third game would be at least the second time you've seen your starters for a prolonged period of time. So when they look at the preseason, the guys that starters played a whole game worth of plays in the preseason. Now it's what? One quarter maybe? If that. One quarter, which is like multiple drives. So the first and second game of the season is basically like a preseason game. Where you're still knocking the rust off. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's definitely not preseason. These games count and they matter. But they're still getting their feet underneath them. They're still learning things. They're still ironing things out. They're still getting used to their shoulder pads. Because if you haven't been doing it the way the NFLPA is, they can't really hit in practice. Like, you're doing the most of it. I know, right? I'm repping it now.
Is that why you wore the sweatshirt today?
No, not at all. I didn't know we were talking about this. But the way practices is now, it's very difficult. The practices are like glorified walkthroughs with pads on. Like there's no hitting that goes on. And I think the guys in the first 2 weeks of the season are still getting acclimated to playing football.
I love how people that are Casillas' age now talk like old heads. It's like levels. You have like the Howard Cross level of like.
He's an OG, triple OG.
Yeah, he's a triple OG. You're an unk.
I'm an unk. There you go. I'm unk. I'm unk now.
I learned that from the social media team this year. Aren't you proud of me?
There you go.
I actually learned it.
I learned that I was unk by my daughter. She was like, "Yeah, you're definitely unk, Dad." I was like, "Damn, unk now."
I don't know what I want to nickname this guy. Hi, Charlie. How are you?
Hey, guys. Hey, JC.
What's up, Charlie?
Hey, JC. Why don't you have me on the Hangout? I think I'd be great with you guys.
Actually, Charlie, Pearson's the producer of that show, so when he screens your call, if you want to try to lobby that from him, Pearson's the guy to talk to about that. He's in charge.
Pearson, come on, man. Look, I'd be great on that show. I love Russ. Russ loves me.
Charlie and Russ
Maddie
together.
And JC and me. That would be awesome.
Sounds like a lot of editing.
Great answer, Pearson. Great answer. Great answer, bro.
You'd have the biggest audience of any Hangout. I'm telling you, man.
Hours worth of editing for a 15-minute show.
You have to cut half the show out. There'll be nothing left. So, Charlie, do you have a response to the Daniel Jones call?
Okay, let me give you an analogy. Children, right?
I'm aware of children.
When they're out there playing, right?
Yeah.
They're so cute, right? And they're laughing, but just wait 5 minutes. They'll be crying, and they'll be like whining and everything else. That's Daniel Jones.
Sounds like one of your calls.
Just 2 games. That's just 2 games. Daniel Jones is who he is, and he'll show you who he is. He's mediocre tapioca, and that's who the guy is. So I'm glad he's off this team. I'll never watch a game that he plays unless he's in the Super Bowl, and I'll have to. But I'm not counting on that. And let me just say this about Thomas. They should rest this guy. This guy when was the last time he played? 20 years ago? I mean, it was like over a year ago he's played.
That's why they're slowly ramping him up, Charlie. They're trying to do this responsibly.
What do you mean ramping him up? It was just last week and this week, and it's just one.
No, this is the third week. This is the timeout. He got taken off the PUP list in the middle of August. Yeah. So you ramp him up with some of the non-team stuff in August.
What did he do?
And he's done team reps. I'm telling you what he did. The first 2 or 3 weeks, he did some Charlie, you ask and then you keep talking. The first 3 weeks, he did more individual stuff. They ramped him up to team stuff the first week of September, and they've given him more team reps and increased the back-to-back day. Charlie, that's all you can do. What else do you want to do? You can't put him in some minor league football game. Right. This is the only way you can ramp him up. There's no other way.
You
can't send him to Rutgers and have him play against freaking Northwestern this week. Like, that's not going to work.
If they put him in this game, he is not going to be the Thomas you know. He's going to be bad. He's going to be like Dex. Dexter's had a...
Charlie, I'm very happy that you've been watching him at practice and you've been with the training staff and you know exactly what his health status is. I'm glad you have that insight.
All right, put him in there. Go ahead.
No, Charlie, I'm not telling you I know I'm telling you I don't know what he's going to look like. I'm not the one telling the world here that you know exactly what's going to happen.
All right. I'm just telling you. I'm telling you my opinion. You don't take a guy who hasn't played in 100 years and put him out there and expect him to be an all-pro.
So, Charlie, when are you allowed to play him then? What's your threshold? When do you decide when he gets to play?
He needs another 2 weeks of ramping up, at least, before he gets out there. But that's all I wanted to say about Thomas. Let me say the intangibles of this game. For one, how do we do on primetime games?
Not great.
What's our record?
No, not good.
Yeah, not good at all, right?
Nope. But it's usually because you're playing really good teams is a big reason of that.
Yeah, well, that's right. Are we playing a really good team? I think so. And look, Mahomes.
Not this year.
You know, Mahomes knows this is a national game. The whole NFL is going to be watching. All his divisional foes are going to be watching. You think he's going to come out and they're going to lay an egg? And
no, Charlie, you're right. Because last week when you did the rematch of the Super Bowl against the Eagles on national TV on Fox at 4:25, Mahomes definitely did not get up for that game. He went in saying, it's only the team we lost to in the Super Bowl. I'm not going to play well. If I don't play well, no one's going to notice. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
No, all I'm saying is it was a 20-17 game. It wasn't like they got blown out like the Super Bowl, did they?
I said it was good. I said it's going to be close because that's what the Chiefs do. They play close games.
All I'm trying to tell you, the momentum and the intangibles, and Mahomes throws well out of the pocket. He doesn't have to stay in the pocket.
He throws well everywhere. He's Patrick Mahomes. Oh, did we lose?
On a hill day. So isn't Kelsey. And Worthy's coming back. They're telling us he's playing.
It sounds like
he might not be 100%, but Mahomes said, I want him on the field. He will make a big difference. Whether they throw to him or not throw to him, he's going to make a difference. They're going to run the ball because we can't stop the run to save our life. And they're going to get 125, 135 yards. Jeez. For them, that's going to be really good. And look, we're not winning this game, and everybody thinks it's going to be a close game. I don't. I think Kansas City's going to come out and put up some points, and we're not going to put up points like we did last week. And Ruff is going to be running for his life this week because Spags.
Sounds like you're very excited for the game, Charlie. It sounds like you cannot wait to see this game on Sunday night. It sounds like you're pumped.
I am pumped because I know Spags is going to be sending the house, and our offensive line is not going to know what the heck's going on. And it's going to be bad. All I'm saying is our defense won't play as bad as last week. If they do, then they should just quit and walk off the field. And our offense is not going to play as well as they did last week. And so, look, Mahomes is not going to lose this game. Andy Reid is not going to lose this game. They're going to win this game. And like I said, I give it 4 games. I said we're going to be 0-4. And the Chargers are going to beat us too. And then we're going to go into New Orleans praying for a win. And then that's what it's going to be.
Thank you, Charlie. And then we're going to have an eclipse, and the sun's not going to come out for 3 weeks. I think Christmas is going to get canceled. They're going to run out of turkeys for Thanksgiving. Oh my gosh, everything's going to go terribly.
Charlie. As expected.
I think you need the Russ Wilson Charlie hangout, Pearson. We don't have to air it. I just want to have it for internal purposes.
That's funny.
I think we got to put Casillas in there too, because he can kind of manage the 3 personalities.
Right, I got to be in. I'm the only one that can tolerate them. You can't. There's no way you'll be on a. You'll be like, all right, I'm hanging.
No, honestly,
I'm hanging up. I can't do this.
Honestly, I think I would in that situation. I would be able to just sit back and enjoy the show a little bit.
That's it. As long as you're not talking, because you would probably curse one of those guys out. For real.
Well, I would understand what I'm getting into.
You all red.
And I know it wouldn't air anyway. It's not live. It's different, right? It's not a live show, so I think you understand that stuff can be cleaned up and
it'll be good
and fixed in post.
It'll be good.
So just to give you an idea, folks, when I say the Chiefs play close games, and then we got to go eat some lunch. Starting in Week 8 last year, okay, in the regular season, the Chiefs finished the regular season going 9-2. Okay?
And the last game didn't count.
No. Correct. All right, so we can throw that out. So let's throw out that last game. So besides that Denver game, they went 9-1 in their final 10 meaningful games. But here were the scores, okay? 27-20 at Vegas. The Raiders stunk last year. 30-24 win overtime against the Bucs, 1-score game. 16-14 win against the Broncos, 2-point game. 30-21 loss to Buffalo, 9-point game. 30-27 win at Carolina. Not exactly a powerhouse, 3-point win. 1917 win home versus the Raiders, 2-point win. 1970 win versus the Chargers, 2-point win. That one was at home. At Cleveland, 21-7. Home versus Houston, 27-19, one possession game. And then at Pittsburgh, 29-10 on December 25th. Those are all close games, JC.
Yeah, besides
every single one of those, except for Pittsburgh, which of course.
But I mean, they started the game like that too. I don't know why you just used the back half of the season, because the whole season was like that.
Yeah, you know what? You're not wrong. 27-20, 26-25, 22-17, 17-10. Then you have two double digits in there, 26-13 Saints, 28-18 Niners.
Wins,
but yeah,
like 2 or 3.
It's all one-score games. Yeah. So the Giants are going to have opportunities to win this game.
Yeah, I believe
but can they take advantage of those opportunities?
That's it.
Final thoughts?
That's it. Well, I mean, that's it. I think you got a Giants team that has to figure out how to close games against a team that know how to close games, but they haven't done it yet this year.
All right, I think we need to workshop that when we have our Dave Dominic meeting later on today, Pearson. I think maybe you need to pitch Wilson and Charlie together. Your thoughts?
No.
There is some type of concept in there to use some type of fan thing. Yeah, no, that's true.
Could be a tailgate thing. Could be fun.
Yes, there might have to be some type of like.
I gotta not work that day, and I could drink a little bit, so I could be out there with them.
Yeah, I think we need to do it, but just for internal consumption. Like we can't air it.
For goofs.
Yeah, although I would not suggest we air any of this. I think just for our personal entertainment.
Gotcha. Okay, I could look into that.
Yeah, I think we need to consider that. Maybe. I'm not sure if I think the guys would be into it. We'll figure it out. All right. That's Big Blue Kickoff Live, presented by Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the Giants, and the Hackensack Marine Hill podcast studio. Keep getting better. Datino and Saitak will have Sanity tomorrow at 12:30, I think. JC, always a pleasure doing this to me. This is fun.
Absolutely, brother.
For Jonathan Casillas, I am John Schmeelk. We'll see you tomorrow at 12:30 for another Big Blue Kickoff Live. And a reminder, we have our Saturday Big Blue Kickoff Live show at 7 a.m. on Saturday morning. Mark Malusis and I on WFAN. You can stream it on the Odyssey app, of course. Listen on 660 AM or 101.9 FM. And then we're live with our pregame show at 6:20 on Sunday night for Giants and Chiefs. We'll see you then.